Yeah, I mean that was awesome. I mean, we just played a well-rounded game today. Obviously Jack coming out and just being able to get us going, and putting up a couple zeros, and then offensively, obviously Crouch just huge again, gets us going with another home run, and then it just, again, we had a great game plan coming in. We obviously had just seen Chris pitch here a couple of weeks ago against us, and we did such a great job, with Jostan and Rathbone going back to back to start the game, and then we just aborted the game plan, and obviously we didn't play great defense that day, and so the score kind of got out of hand, and I thought the offense started just trying to do too much, trying to get us back into the game instead of just passing the bat. And so Ted and Chris had a great game plan. The Sky Report meeting, it was pretty straightforward, that we just needed to be able to make him put the ball over the middle of the plate. We knew we were going to see a lot of changeups, especially in fastball counts. And I thought the guys did a great job. Obviously, 7 home runs. I mean, you never really expect that, but man, once we started getting rolling, everybody was just running to the plate, wanting to hit. And obviously, Jack continued to kept putting up zeros, obviously trying to, Hunter's their guy. The offense runs through them. If you can slow him down, you got a good chance to win the game. And obviously, getting him to go for 3 today, and that was huge. So Jack did a great job, and we just needed a big time start out of him and to go deep into the game. But also proud of our offense for giving us a chance to only have to play 7 innings and continuing to play the game, and just kept putting runs on the board, kept putting, having great at bats, and 1 through 9, everybody participated. Everybody, I think 7 or 8 of the guys had RBIs, and everybody had a hit, and just we talk about being dynamic and relentless, and I thought we were that today. So just proud of the whole team, and excited to have the day off tomorrow and be in the the championship game of our of our bracket. And you want to be in the spot where somebody's got to beat you twice, but we also know that no matter who we play, they're going to be ready to go, and we got to come out from the first pitch on Saturday, and try to continue to play the way we played.
Where to begin with this one, Coach? Because there's a lot of stuff that happened in this game. I guess one thing I would like to ask you about is Tom Jostan's inside the park home run. What was that like for you in your perspective?
Yeah, it was funny. He hit a scud to dead center in the at bat before that, and the guy made a great catch getting back just to make it to the wall. And this one, I guess he just said, I got to hit a little harder, and just was able to beat the center fielder, hit the ball off the top of the wall. The ball bounces off the wall really hard here. The one that they hit early in the game, the first or second inning, and Rathbone tried to rob it and hit off that thing and bounced almost all the way back to the infield. So you knew he had a shot, and it was funny because I was screaming at Chris to hold him, just with nobody out. But then the guy, went to go pick up the ball and dropped it. So, but I don't think Chris was listening. I think he was sending him no matter what. You just don't get a chance to get inside the park home runs very often. And, if you're going to bust it out of the box and run hard, like, you deserve to try to get a chance. So it was good. I was happy for Tom to do that. It was fun to see him skirting around the bases.
Let's go back to Jack Star. What did he do so well today, and just the importance of having a well-rested pen down the stretch in a long tournament?
Yeah, I just think he managed really well. He had some command issues with his fastball, but he was able to land the slider when he needed to. And again, when you're able to mix some off-speed stuff in, obviously his fastball, again, there's no gun, so I didn't ask our student manager what his velocity was, but if he's usually 92, 94, and he's able to land that off-speed stuff, and it just makes that fastball play up. But he was sinking the ball big time. I mean, the ball running that was part of the problem. We were trying to go away. He was running it back inside, but he was able to get underneath their bats. So we got a ton of ground balls. And again, just being able to land the off-speed stuff. He went to a changeups later in the game and was able to utilize that, which, again, when you're able to do that, especially to right on right changeups, it just makes the fastball play up. And so, again, he just competed. But again, even with, again, he didn't have A+ stuff today. I don't know what it was at, but it wasn't his best stuff. It wasn't bad stuff, but it wasn't his best stuff. But when you have a veteran on the mound that doesn't worry about that stuff, doesn't panic, doesn't say, oh my gosh, I don't have my great stuff today, just goes out there and competes. And again, with the kind of movement that he had today, he was just able to miss barrels and land that off-speed stuff. And, that's why we have him in the rotation, is because he gives us that veteran presence, and he's been there and, pitched in this park before, pitched in this tournament before, pitched in big games. And, he did it again today by being able to hold him down and save our bullpen and give us a chance to win.
How much of today is a carryover from that comeback win against Cincinnati? Is there such a thing as a carryover momentum there? Because this team played with a lot of confidence, at least watching it. It feels this is the most confident this team has been here in a little while. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, hitting's contagious. I think that guys were jacked up from the game. Obviously, just winning the game just put us in a good mindset. I thought, again, the game plan and the scouting report meeting was awesome this morning. I think the guys really understood. I think they all are kind of wanting to prove something, whether it's individually or as a group. And like we talked about last game, just feeling like we've been through a lot, and just the trials and tribulations, the injuries, the ups and downs. We know that we still have our best baseball to be played. And I think they wanted to come out and prove that. But I think, the mix between last night or Tuesday's game and then coming out and Crouch getting a home run and us putting up some runs, I think that just, everybody was like, here we go. We're doing it again. You know what I mean? And so I think you take that just the inning against Cincinnati, and then you mix that with Crouch's home run to start the game. I just think the guys were like, let's go. We're doing it again. We're going to put up some big numbers. Let me go hit. And everybody went up there and I thought put together good at bats. And I didn't think anybody, we didn't swing like they were trying to hit home runs. We just put barrels on balls and let the baseball do what it needed to do. So just proud of the offense for staying within themselves, and you get rewarded when you just do that and just worry about putting barrel on the baseball. Good things happen to you.
Speaking of Josh Crouch, he hit 2 home runs today, making it 3 home runs on the tournament. What's it been like with him this entire term? What have you seen out of him?
Well, the last month, he's been on fire. He's hit, I got to think it's over 50, 60% of his home runs have been in the last month. He's been hitting over 350. He has just been on fire. He's worked really, really hard. He is very dedicated to his craft. He spends hours upon hours every single day at the field. When he goes home, he does extra. He's in front of the mirror, breaking down his receiving and his swing. Puts in a lot of time and effort. And just to see his growth over the last 2 years and how he's developed as a player, both as a catcher and as a hitter, has been fun to watch. And, again, last year, as young as we were, you just don't get that development time at bats or the most important thing for a hitter, being able to take the stuff from the cages and then being able to implement it into a game-like situation. You can't mimic that in practice. You can't mimic that. You can't make up at bats. So just seeing all these young guys who, we got off to a good start last year, but 18 games is a whole lot different than 56 games. But then seeing the growth and development as they continue to get at bats and continue to grow, and especially Josh. He has really transformed himself from where he was to where he is now. And he continues to go out there. He's very extrinsically motivated, and he doesn't appreciate feeling like people aren't giving him the credit that he deserves. And so I think he's going out there making sure he proves a point to the pro scouts, to the league, and to the other teams and all that kind of stuff. And it's fun. He's on fire right now. He, like he said, he's seeing the ball really, really well, but he's mastered his swing on what he needs to do. And he's just putting good swings on balls. And anytime you make a mistake to him, he's going to make you pay.
Winning games earns you days off. Quality starts means you don't have to burn through a lot of pitchers. What do you like about your pitching depth going into the weekend?
I'm happy. Obviously, Litchfield was going to be out today, just scratched with how many pitches he threw. So it was good that he got another day's rest. So obviously, Vespi and Litchfield are good to go. So Bennett, Vieira, we got in there. We really wanted Bennett to get in there, or Vieira to get in there today and get an inning, just so that he kind of had been on the mound, in this tournament, so that it wasn't his first outing when we needed him, if we needed him later on. So we feel like we're in a good spot. We obviously, Kenny and AJ still haven't pitched. So obviously one of those guys will get to go here once we figure out who we're playing tomorrow. And we feel good. I mean, obviously Litch will be back, and like I said, everybody else is rested and ready to go. So you feel like you're in a good spot. Well, obviously, it's going to be a huge challenge no matter who we play. We got to worry about ourselves on Saturday and come out and play our baseball and continue to do the things we've done so far this week.
Nick Romano's had a great tournament here. Speak to his character. He didn't have the season he wanted, obviously struggled. It could have been easy to just kind of lose confidence and just kind of, it's not meant to be. But he's turned it around here in this tournament. He's had a great tournament with the homer, 3 hits today.
Yeah, I mean, just proud of him. He had an unbelievable fall, an unbelievable, preseason. And then the hamstring injury just derailed him. And again, talk about being able to get those at bats. The same thing. Like he doesn't have a lot of D1 at bats under him, but he gets behind, not being able to see live pitching for 3 or 4 weeks. And then, you get off, you get back in the game and we put him right back in there and just scuffled out of the gate. And, that's hard to handle. If you've never been there and you've never struggled, like he hit 300 last year in the 18 games. So he had never struggled. And so all of a sudden now you're putting more pressure on yourself, but you're behind everybody else that's playing because, you missed 3 or 4 weeks of live at bats. And so, the great thing about him is he's never pouted. He's never felt sorry for himself. He's never complained. He just shows up every day and works. I've been trying to get him at bats whenever I can, trying to get him, a start here or there, just trying to get him going because again, I said it in my pre-season meeting that I thought he was going to be the MVP of our team, just what he had done for us in the last, 2 years. Last year, all fall and spring, how he got started, and then this fall and everything. And he just stumbled out of the blocks and just couldn't catch up. But he's just continued to work. So just really proud that he never gave up, never threw in the towel, and just showed up every day and kept working, just like we all have. I think him personally is kind of a microcosm of what we've done as a group, and it hasn't been pretty. It hasn't been what we expected, but we've shown up every day and worked, and he has been that way. And when you do that, the baseball gods are just way more apt to rewarding you. So it's been fun to see him do well. We're a much better team when he's hitting, and just gives us another option, whether that's as a starter or as off the bench. But I'm just proud of him for what he's had to overcome this year to be able to have the tournament that he's having so far.
Coach, you guys went up against Chris Durham again. Of course, the one pitcher and that you guys had in the loss in the regular season series against Memphis. What was it like going up against him again? And what did you tell your offense about, what to do when going up against him a second time?
Well, we told him we just had to be better. You know what I mean? Like, again, I thought those 2 home runs that we hit off of him kind of like, and the wind was blowing out that day. And it was kind of like, all right, let's just all go hit home runs. And man, against a guy that can really throw a changeup, like that's dangerous because if you go out there and just start swinging as hard as you possibly can, trying to hit home runs, you get into some 1-0 counts, 2-1 counts, 2-0 counts, and he'll just keep dropping that changeup in there and you'll be swinging and then waiting 3 seconds for it to cross the plate. And so I thought we got a little bit too big. Again, the game also affected that because, we didn't play very well defensively and we gave up, we were down 12-2 in the 3rd inning or whatever it was. And so then it just felt like we were trying to hit 10-run homers with nobody on base. And instead of just being able to let him make a mistake and then be able to do some damage by just putting barrels on the ball. So we harped that in the meeting. We got to be able to sit and be prepared for that changeup and make him see. We had to see it up, make him elevate the changeup because we knew we were going to see a lot of them. And I thought that's what we did. We still got us on some that were good pitches. He's got a really, really good changeup, and it's really tough to pick up sometimes. But when you force him to put it up in the zone, and you're really, sitting on it sometimes if you want to, I just thought the game plan was great. And again, I think that the guys understood what happened last time and what we need to do in order to not allow that to happen this time. And I thought we executed the game plan to perfection.
Throughout the season, you've spoken about inconsistency, mental toughness. Is this the most confident team that you're seeing right now of the season?
Yeah, by far. And that's the goal, right? We've been talking about it since day one. Just keep getting better. We got to play our best baseball at the end of the year. Again, we would have loved to start playing like this or being able to play like this all year, but that just wasn't what was in the cards. That wasn't the journey that this team was going to be on. So, but again, I think the coaching staff has done a great job. I definitely have gotten frustrated at times, but I've been cognizant of just trying to get them to go out every day and work and not try to panic or overreact, and and just go out there and just keep working, and believing in the process and believing in what I was preaching of we got to continue to get better and play our best baseball at the end of the year. And so again, I'm just proud of the staff and the players for continuing to show up every single day, keep working. And when you do that, I just feel like they've been through the ringer. They've been through the tough times, and we've just come out of it on the other side, and and just keep getting better. And so I think that they understand where we've been and where we could be. And we just believed in that, and we're playing our best baseball right now. We just got to continue it for as long as we possibly can.
Coach, Andrew Braid had a pretty good game coming into this season. He got 2 RBIs, 2 hits. I also noticed a couple of good defensive plays out of him at third base. What have you been seeing out of him for this week?
Yeah, I mean, just been Andrew Braid. I mean, he's in there for his defense, but he's also had some tough at-bats and given us a chance. Had the huge hit against Cincinnati up the middle to score a couple runs. I think he kind of he didn't get it started, but he might have got the tying run across the plate with his hit. So he just is a tough kid, man, just getting hit in the face, and everything that happened to him, and just the surgery and all that stuff in January. And again, talk about another kid that had to come out without having to see live. He hadn't seen live pitching since November, other than the 3 pitches he saw before he got hit in the face. And so he just behind and, just scuffled at first offensively, but he was out there for his defense and just continued, made some great plays early in the game, the diving play and another ground ball that he snagged and was able to throw out. So, and he got some big hits today. So, he had a great fall for us and just got derailed again by the injury, but just kept showing up every day, trying to get better. And he's gotten better every single day that he's been back in there. And, just been proud of him for continuing to fight and compete and worry about trying to be better today than he was yesterday. So it was fun to watch all those guys on all cylinders today.
So now you have a day off, but before you come back on Saturday to play the winner of ECU and Memphis, coming on a hot streak, considering the season that you guys have having a hot streak like this, what do you do with the team over the day off and over this next day off going into Saturday?
Yeah, we'll probably get a lift in and we'll go practice for a little bit. Just go take a round of BP, work on, 10, 15 minutes of defense, just getting some work in, but opportunity for us to get better. We'll talk about it tomorrow, that tomorrow's the most important day of our season. And then we'll do a recovery deal at the end of practice just to kind of get some extra stretching and mobility stuff in and just try to get the guys' bodies feeling good and just continue to do the same things we've always been doing. So it'll be the most important practice, but we say that every day, so it shouldn't change. So we just got to go out there and work. There's still ways to get better. We still can play better. And we just got to use tomorrow as an opportunity to get our bodies in the best spot, from recovery and rest and stretching and things like that. Maybe get a lift in. It'll probably be an optional lift where guys that want to lift can. And then we got an hour of practice. So we'll just do the normal thing that we did, same thing we did on yesterday. And, just continue to try to get better and try to be the best we can on Saturday.